Good morning. Happy Monday. Today we are going to be making this granny square bag. It turns out so beautiful and all the texture in it and then the button clasp, and it's such a nice size. I'm going to be making these for all the teachers this year. We have all women teachers, so I think this would be a great end of the year gift. And it is also, you could use it for Mother's Day, so I thought I'd get the tutorial out kind of early because they take a little bit of time to make. So let's get to it. I'm Rose and welcome to my channel. To make the granny square handbag, I am using Big Twist Value, and it is in the eggplant color. You will also need a crochet hook. I'm using 5mm, a pair of scissors, and a needle. So we are going to need a total of 13 granny squares. So we're going to start with our first granny square, and I'm going to yarn over twice, and we're going to make it like a magic ring. And we're going to chain 2, and we're going to place 2 half double crochets back into the middle of the magic ring. Now to make the corner, you're going to chain 2, and then we're going to place 3 half double crochets back into the center of the granny, or of the magic ring. And then we're going to make another corner, and we're going to chain 2, and then half double crochet 3 more times back into the magic ring. And then our third corner, chain 2, 3 more half double crochets into the magic ring. And then before I finish my last corner, I'm just going to pull the center tight. And now our last corner, chain 2, and we're going to go back into the top of that first chain 2 with a slip stitch. And that is going to complete our first round of the granny square. Round 2, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to place 1 half double crochet into that corner loop, into the corner right here. And now we're going to go into both of these stitches with a half double crochet. And then we're going to place 2 more into this corner. So there's going to be a total of 6 on each side. Chain 2, and then place 2 more into the corner. And then 1 into each stitch. So that would be 1 in the next 2, and then to find your corner, we're going to place 2 half double crochets into that corner, chain 2, and 2 more into the corner. And then I'll meet you at the end of round 2. For round 3, chain 2, half double crochet back into that corner, and now we're going to find all of our stitches, and we're going to place a half double crochet into each stitch, which should be 5. 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to add 2 into the corner stitch, so that should be a total of 9 stitches, 9 half double crochets on the one side for round 3. And then we're just going to continue around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. And here we are at the end of round 3. It took me a couple minutes. And then we will start round 4. We end with a slip stitch. And then, so there's going to be a total of 36 for round 3. Round 4, chain 2, go right back into that corner stitch with a half double crochet, and then we are going to work down all of our stitches, and we're going to place a half double crochet into each of them. Alright, and there should be 8, and then we're going to place 2 into our corner, and that should leave us with a total of 12 on one side for round 4. And I'll meet you at the end of round 4. Here we are at the end of round 4, and you should have a total of 48, and we'll end with a slip stitch. And round 5, this is our final round. You're going to chain 2, place a half double crochet into that corner stitch, and we are going to go into all the stitches and you should have 15 at the end of the first row. And then I will meet you at the end of round 5. And here we are at the end of round 5. You should have a total of 60 half double crochets in all. And we're going to end with a slip stitch, and I'm just going to cut and leave a little bit of a tail so I can tuck it. And then this is 1, and we're going to have to make a total of 13. And for this, now you can either tuck them right as you go, all your ends, or wait until you make them all. But what I usually do is I bring it straight down and into the center, and I tuck it here and cut it. And then this I'll just wrap around a little bit more. And then that way it shouldn't, you shouldn't have any tails that will pull out if you bring it into the center. So they won't be all over the place. And then bring it to the back so it's on the inside. So, alright, I will see you after I make all my granny squares. Here are my granny squares all done. 13 of them. I did not tuck my ends, and I did not block them. You are more than welcome to block them. I'm not going to. And they're all about the same size. So, I mean, if you're really worried that they're not going to be the same size, then you could definitely block them. But mine turned out about all the same size, and I'm going to leave them just like this, and I'm going to go tuck all my ends, and then we will put our bag together. Alright, here are the granny squares all tucked. All the ends are tucked and ready to go. And then I'm just going to kind of put them in the correct order for you. So you're going to go sorry, I was just trying to think if I have there. I don't know if that's any better, but I put on the light on the camera so you could see, but we're just going to work this and put them in the order you want to. Now this looks like it might not, but they are the exact same size. And then these spaces you're going to actually they're going to come together, so no worries there. And then you should be done with all 13. So this is what it's going to look like whenever your pattern is done. Let me see if I can get, sorry. No, this is what it will look like. And then I will link that for you so that you can have the pattern right in front of you if you like. But then we're just going to, this is all the right side. So you can see the difference between the front and the back. And they're all going to be on the front side. And then you're going to, I'm going to single crochet so that it will pop out a little. And I'm going to crochet in between all of these, single crochet. So I would leave the pattern and then I would just take 2 at a time and then kind of go from there. So that you have, otherwise if you know the pattern, then you can just take them all and then do it like that. But I'm going to leave this pattern up and then I'm going to go and single crochet 2 at a time. So for my first 2, I'm just going to make the pretty side be out on both sides, and then I'm going to single crochet all the way across. So, and then in the I always go into the stitches in the corner stitch so that it comes together better. Just wanted to make sure I was in the same stitch on both. And I'm going to make this like a slip stitch. And then I'm just going to go into each stitch. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going into both, front and back. That was nice. I went through the tail. So make sure that you pick up the one connected to the yarn. And then I'm just going to single crochet all the way down. Alright, that will be the first 2. And then I'm just going to now go pick up the other ones. So I believe this was the side, and then there's going to be more. Now my I like to try to go without having to cut this so that I can get as many as I can stitched on. So I'm going to go with the next ones. Hold on one second. Alright, now I'm going to add my next one, and I'm just going to bring it right into this same side. Make sure that the pretty side is up on both. And then we're just going to match up our stitches and single crochet. And then you'll just cut wherever you can't go any further and start the next one. Then you just want to make sure that they are lined up correctly. This is the first stitch. This is not the first stitch. This is the first stitch. So just take your time, make sure they're lined up, and then this will form the bag. I'm going to show you the outside, how it's going to look after this one. So I'll meet you at the end. Here is what it looks like after I attach the third granny square, and it's going to add like this little bit of a texture bump on top, and it's going to look really pretty in the end. So I'm going to meet you at the end after I stitch them all together. Alright, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to take it like this, and this is the bottom, this is the top, and then I'm just going to see what stitches I have here. So right here I'm going to go into this one and this top one. So I'm going to do a slip stitch, knot, I'm not sure what this is considered, but I'm going to join my yarn on, and then I'm going to go into the second stitch of my my corner. And now they should all line straight up, and then you can slip stitch it, you can single crochet it, or you can even use your needle and do it that way. I just like the way single crochet holds it together firmly, so I'm going to do it that way. Every time I look, I'm not sure if it's actually in the center or not, so if not, I apologize, but I'm just going straight down these stitches with single crochet, and then I will see you at the end of joining both sides together. I am done with the end of side 2, and I'm just going to make a knot, and then I'm going to tuck my end. These two ends I already am done with this side, and I already tucked the end, and then once I do tuck the end, I'm just going to flip it. This is what it's going to look like on the outside, and now I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this up, and my light keeps falling, so but then all the texture on both sides. And now we will add our handle right to the top. I'm going to actually start on the sides. So to start the strap, I'm just going to start on this right side and pull my yarn through, and with a stitch, and now I'm just going to do half double crochets. Now some people do this single crochet. I'm going to do half double crochet, so you are more than welcome to do whatever you like to do. But I go through every stitch in the corner and then all the way up to the top of our first granny square. When you get to the top, and put a 1 into the top of this granny square corner, and now I'm just going to chain 70. 70, that was a lot. Wowee. When you get to the end of 70, you're just going to follow it all the way to the other end to make sure that it is not twisted. And then we're just going to join with a half double crochet at the top of this granny square. And now we're just going to continue all the way back down. And then I will meet you on the other side. Back at the beginning of our strap. My voice is starting to go, so I apologize. But we are just going to make a slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 that we made at the beginning where we started, and we're just going to go into that first stitch and make a slip stitch. And then we're going to chain 2 and continue right all the way up to the top of where the strap begins. So I'll meet you at the top where the strap begins. And when you get to the strap, we're just going to continue around with half double crochets, but we're going to go into the third loop on the back. And we're just going to go right along, and if you have a hard time getting them, you could just pull them up with your fingers. But we're just going to go into each of the stitches on the third loop on the back all the way across the strap on both sides, this strap and this strap. This is what it looks like after just the first round of the strap, or the second round. So I will meet you at the third round. Also, as you're coming down where the two granny squares meet to make the bottom, we are going to skip 3 of them. So you're going to half double crochet until you get to 3. So here's the 3. 1, 2, 3. So in the one right before it, this is where we're going to bring 2 together. So you're just going to go into 2 and with your half double crochet. We're just going to
bring our yarn through 2, and then we're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into this 4th one and bring up a loop, and now go through all 3 loops. So that way it's going to keep this, like, I wouldn't call it a valley, but it's going to keep it at the bottom so it's not going to get bunched up, and it's just going to lay flat. So, and then we'll just keep going. Here I am at the end of round 2, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to skip the 3, 1, 2, 3, because this is already the chain 2, so I'm just going to skip. I don't know if you want to count that as 2 or 3, but we're going to, into the one before the 3rd, we're just going to pull through 2, and then I'm going to place it in the top of the chain 2, pull it tight, and pull through all 3. So it's not a slip stitch, but it's going to bring it together better. So, and now I'm going to chain 2, and we are going, just want to see and make sure it's laying flat and it's even, and we're not like pushing out. So that's what you want on both sides. And then for this 3rd round of the strap, I'm just going to place a half double crochet in each of the stitches all the way around, except for when you get to the bottom part on both sides. This side also, we're going to skip the 3 and bring it together. So this side is laying flat also, so you just want to make sure that it's lining up and we're not going outward. So I will see you at the end of this last round, round 3. For me, if you want to add more than 3 and you want to go one more, you could do that for the strap, but I'm only going to go to round 3, and then I will see you at the end. Here I am at the end of round 3. I'm going to place, I usually skip the 3, I'm just going to go into this last one with a full half double crochet, and I'm going to skip these last 2 and go into the top of the chain 2 and do a slip stitch, and then that will complete the bag. And this is what the strap looks like. So it would be 2 rounds of half double crochets, and if you'd like to do a 3rd round, you could do that also, but I like it this way. And I'm just going to cut my yarn, and then tuck my end, and then I'm going to add a button with the latch. So I'll show you how to do that, but this is the inside of the bag. And if you kept up with all the strings and tucking them, you should only have like 1 or 2 to tuck right now. And then I will show you, I have the button. This is the same button I used from my last bag, and I like how the size of this one. So we're going to have to make the clasp for this a little bit wider because we want it to come around the button. If you want to use a smaller button, I don't know, I like this one. It makes a statement. A smaller one like this, you could decide, and any color you would like. I like this one better, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So, alright, let's add the end clasp for the button. Alright, so I decided that I wanted this side with all the layers, texture. to be the front of my bag. So this is where my button is going to go. So we are going to flip over our bag and we're going to work on the opposite side, and I believe I'm going to work into 6. Let me just get my button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that is going to work well, and then we'll get our yarn and attach it. And then after I attach the yarn, this one I'm going to do another single crochet right back into that, so it kind of stays on and doesn't keep falling off. And this just happens to be where the corner is. So we're going to work into the 3 stitches on this side and then the 3 stitches on the other side of this little dip. Three. I don't know why this is giving me a hard time because I'm trying to go into the stitch. I think it doesn't want me to. Alright, and then I'm just going to measure this, and I believe it's good. And we're just going to chain 1 and then flip our work, and I'm going to work single crochets back and forth on for all 6 of these. Three, 6, and then chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work again, and then go back, and we go right back into the very first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't have it marked out how many I'm going to need, how many rows I'm going to need. So I'm going to end it. I'm going to work 10 and end there. So I'll meet you at 10 and we'll see how far we get. Alright, so this is at 10 and I want my button about here. So I think 10 might be too many, so I'm going to go back to 8. And I'm going to leave a space for my button. And so here I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the first one, and now I'm going to skip the next 4. And I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go back into the last, or go into the last one with a single crochet. And that's going to provide the space for my button to go over. And now I'm going to go back and probably add 2 to 3 more rows. Let's see. So I'm going to go back into that first one that has a single crochet, and then just work into 2 of them, 2 of the stitches on top of each of these with a single crochet. and then 1 into this last stitch. So you should be back to 6. And now I'm going to flip over and chain 1, single crochet into each stitch. And then I'm just going to see, I'm going to put my button there. And it will come around. I would like it to come completely, like, I'd like the button to be here, and then you'd be able to see the bottom of the strap a little bit, or the clasp. So I'm going to skip this stitch, come into the second stitch. And then I'm just going to bring these together, 2 together for the last one. And then that would make it a little bit rounder. So either way, if you like to go in every one for a square, that's how you would do more of a rounder look at the bottom. And then we're going to add our button. Now to add the button, you're just going to take a piece of yarn with your needle, and I'm going to put the button right on this little like stitch between the holes. And so I'm just going to go up through the back and then bring my button right over my needle. And then go right back through. And now I'm just going to tie a knot. If you feel like you need to go back through again, I would make your knot first and then go back through. In fact, maybe I'll do that with this one. I'll show you. I'll just go back through again. Just so it stands out a little bit more. And it would look like that. And then I'm still going to make another knot even though they're on the same side. And now I'll tuck my ends. And then there is your button. Let's latch it. And that's what it's going to look like. And here is your handbag all done. It turns out so pretty. I love the texture of it and just the way it looks. And I hope you enjoyed making this with me today. I'm so sorry my voice went out for a little bit. I finally got to the doctor and I have a really bad sinus infection that just doesn't want to go away. So I apologize my raspy voice, but I hope you enjoyed making this with me today and that you do take the time to make one. They turn out so beautiful. And until next time, eat, sleep, pray, and crochet. Thank you so much for watching.